Hello. So I'm going to try to keep this video really short. I wanted to talk about really quickly where I'm at right now within the business and some discoveries I just made. So one thing that's going to really, I think, change as the business progresses and as the company scales and how things do or don't change. I had no appointments booked for Catherine to go do free content for people because that's where we're at right now. We're doing free content so we can get reviews and testimonials. That's on the sheet of my goals. 10 reviews and testimonials before we leave on January 7th to go to Calgary. And I'll show you right here how nice and beautiful it is on this November day. It's maybe 5 degrees. So it's a little chilly, but it's not too bad. And I got to show you this. Look at this. Look at that boy. He's just sleeping. Okay, I said I was going to keep this video short, so I'm going to try to. Right now, I had no appointments booked for Catherine. And after I spent, I think it's been an hour. I've spent an hour calling people and emailing and communicating and getting ChatGPT to, I think I turned let me take a look here. I think I went on the ChatGPT and I have the web search and study and learn, no, web search and deep research tab open, and that literally went through and it pulled out a whole bunch of 30, I think it said 30 names of businesses with their phone number and the reason for calling, and it did it in a more structured way than if I were to just ask it to. And I went and I called through all these people, and now I have 3 appointments. I called maybe 10 people. I have 3 appointments for Catherine to go and shoot free content. And I sent multiple emails and I got some people confirming a time. So one thing I'm going to see happen is that the business will not get drummed up if I don't work on it. So we're going to get people responding. We're going to get people inquiring based off ads that are there, which is great. But no business is going to be created unless I do it. And that may be a serious problem, which I know tons of these books probably talk about implementing it, but one that strikes out to me because I also recently read it. Well, that's been over a year ago. I read it in October. I read this book, Buy Back Your Time by Dan Martell. I have referenced it in other videos, but it talks about how to, well, literally the subtitle, get unstuck, reclaim your freedom, and build your empire. Ultimately, I want to ultimately have everything I want so that way I can sit on a beach and read or learn or do things that I like without being constrained. But for my career and working time, I think I will be working within the business, but I want to do things I like. I don't want to be strapped, so this is going to help me. And I would like to figure out the next step on how to create and drum up that business without me being right there. And paid ads and outreach and automated emails and all these things are hopefully going to help. However, I need them to completely take me out of the equation so I can have focus time. So I'm not worried about following up and emailing and cold DMing and warm outreach and doing, I'm going to do the core 4, the rule of 100, but I would like to have 4 other people also doing it. So we have 500 outreaches a day. I would like to see 10 appointments booked every single day. And then the content team can go out and, they can structure the social media. They can edit things. We can have an editing team. We can have everything as big and sprawled out as we can, as long as we can pay for it all, as long as the overhead is not sinking us into the ground. And one thing with me, I'm all up for making money. I am. I know a lot of times, though, instead of you making 100 grand and taking 10 or 20 grand out of it to go supplement the business, typically it's like you make 100 grand. And you may get 10 of it at the end of the day. You might get 10, right? That's the ideology of it. A lot of people don't do it that way, but their businesses don't grow. They stagnate, or they just keep feeling off of repeat customers, which is great, but they're stagnating and they don't even care, which is crazy to me. It's not the game I want to play. So I believe there's a bigger game out there, and the one thing that I do not want, though, is to be say a month I have 100K coming in, but I only have $4,000 to myself out of 100K. Right? 10 is another thing, but 4 grand, something's really off. Even if I'm pouring it all into the business, I want to be able to take out a chunk for myself, so that way on the personal life side, I can do everything I need and everything's taken care of so I can supplement my time and energy back into the business. That's what I want. And right now I'm just finding that unless I do things, the business isn't going to get created. Now, with Catherine potentially coming on full-time in Calgary, whether she does or doesn't get a job in the meantime, before this business really takes off, which I think it will soon, I'm kind of the main point here, which means I am the biggest mover in the business, but I'm also the biggest constraint. And learning, I think, is the biggest constraint right now. Learning and cash. I've said it before. Cash is oxygen, so you can buy yourself time to have more perspective, learn, to make better judgments about the business. So learning and cash are my number 2 constraints, and they're both from me. But I'm also the biggest needle. I can move it. I can move the needle the most in this entire business. So that's where I'm at right now. I said I was going to try to keep this short. It's a 6-minute long video, but I hope that you got some value out of it, and that me in the future can look down at this and I can actually look and write down and see what has changed, what's been better. Maybe I'll have a less wrinkled shirt in the future. It's not bad if I do that, but you can really see that this needs to be ironed. You get the point, right? In the future, things are going to be completely different, and I'm totally excited. And hopefully I'll have this to look back on. And my main hope is that it helps some people in the meantime. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you guys have a beautiful rest of your day, and take care. Bye.